Hi guys, I'm here to demo what Cybern's current functionality is on document classification, OCR of that documents, and extraction of structured documents. So we had a cross-functional team that contained people from DevOps, the UI team, and the data team. So thanks Louis, Matt, and Noel for all the work you guys have been doing here. I'm Jan Foley. Both myself and Jason Darmonovich was team leads to try and get where we are today. I'm going to dive in here by showing how we are scanning a whole document back of documents and then running auto indexing on it. So what that will do is we'll take the whole pack and it will send it off to our classification engine that will try and classify the documents. After it's classified the documents, it will go and extract via OCR all the handwriting from the application forms. So I've got a scanner here next to me, which I am going to start scanning my pages now. And it's going. So after all the pages has come back, it will all show to me here as unstructured. So that we can actually just see all the information that was scanned in. So here are all my documents, as you can see, some forms, and there's basically 5 different document packs. So after all of these has been scanned, I'm going to auto index them now, which is now classifying all of the different documents that it found. And now since it already classified it, now it's going to extract all the handwritten information from there, which takes a couple of seconds because there's 5 different document packs. And then it comes back, and as we can see here, I've got my personal particulars form, I've got a group risk and retirement scheme selection, I've got a declaration of disability, as you can see there, mentions declaration of disability, maternity leave applications. So for everyone that doesn't know, our friend Sean's baby girl was born today. He actually filled in this parental leave form. Then we've got an authority to appoint form. So if I go back to like the personal particulars form, we can actually see all the information that has been extracted from the document. So we can see this is Dr. J. Duplessis with initials JD, which comes from this section of the form over here. J. Duplessis is a doctor. He's also South African. A passport number is extracted there. That looks quite good. Then we've got like telephone numbers and all of this stuff. So as you can see, obviously there's some spaces and stuff in between. Here was one issue I can see. So it read this one as a slash because this guy is a bit skewed. So this is now where you'll run something like a enrichment after this. So you'll do a SIF lookup of your bank or whatever to confirm the information, and then you'll see how close the information is from there. This has done OCR, and it's done auto document indexing. So this is quite interesting stuff that we do. So how did we get to this point? I'm actually going to go ahead and show you guys the setup of how we set up this classification model. So we've got this human resources model that we've pre-trained, and as you can see here, all the different tags are the different forms that we should be able to understand or index based on all of the images that's been provided to it. So what you'll see here is we have, for this document, we have a couple of samples trained. So that's authority to appoint, more authority to appoint. So all we did is we trained it with a couple of forms, and that is how we are then able to actually recognize the documents and give it the output based on the label you've provided. So it's quite a straightforward form. What you could do to add to your model is now you can just go and add more images to it to make the model stronger. You can view all the specific images that the model has actually been trained on. You can change the tags if you wanted to from here. And we can even add more labels to it. With other words, adding a new label means we're adding a new document that it should be able to recognize and auto-index thereafter. So if you do add a new label, for example, a unpaid leave request, then you are, as you can see here, it will say there's this new unpaid leave request that I have no images for. It will give you a warning saying you need at least 20 files to be able to recognize this document. So now you'll go ahead and upload new documents, and once you've uploaded the documents, you can actually train it. And then it will be form part of your model. Then you can go back to your scanning screen and just add your new document there, and it should all just work. So yeah, that is OCR and automatic document indexing. After this, we've also done a section for PDF extraction. So this is now if we have PDFs, that's a structured document. With other words, then you don't have to run it through OCR, because OCR always has no more than a 90% success rate, since it won't always recognize all the characters. Like we saw, it recognized the one as a slash. So that's why if you can actually go to something like a PDF document that actually has a text layer on top of it and extract the values from there, then you have 100% confidence. So this is what I'm hoping to demo to you now. So what I'll do is I will upload a file that looks like this. So this is a PDF document that has all sorts of information from it that I'd like to extract and then index into a Cybrin document. So what we can see here is we've got, for example, this is a sample of an insurance policy document. What you'll see is it has all sorts of different information from it that we are now going to send to this extraction service and see what it comes up with. So I've got 4 motor vehicles here, and yeah, so let's see what happens here. So the first thing you'll notice is that it actually shows us the original document that it found. Then it has this raw results tab over here. So what this tab is it shows me all the rules that I have configured for this document and all the values that it actually managed to extract from it. So as you can see here, if I go to the policy details section, it's highlighting the end words. So all the words that I said, this is the anchor word. So it should find all the values between that. So if we take a test value like this VAT number and we're trying to see if it actually managed to extract it, we should see that it found the entirety of the number 100% as it was written on this document over here. This way we can verify that all the values are there. So we can try something like the 6990, which is the value we can see there. So it's at this point managed to read all the information from the PDF document. If we go to our motor section, we should see something similar. For example, that it found a BMW here, which is a 2012 model. It's managed to find, I think there was a Golf in there. If I select the motor section to see all the motors, I should see the Golf. If I can type, which is a 1.9 TDI, and so forth. So this is the first section that shows you all the raw results. Now, after the raw results has been returned from the extraction service, we now have to map all of this information, all of this data into Cybrin documents. So the values that we see on our output variable results is the actual values that's going to be saved to a Cybrin document. So all of the things we're seeing on this side is the Cybrin document fields, right? And the ones where there's values is where it's managed to read the values from the raw result and show it as Cybrin document field values. So if I go to, for example, let's take this Volkswagen Golf. As we can see here, it's returned in the vehicle year, make and model. You can see it's a 2005 for Volkswagen 1.9 TDI and it's white. So it's been saved to our model year field that says 2004 Volkswagen Golf 1.9 TDI white. So it's managed to take all the values from the source. If we went back to the source, we should see that it's multiple text boxes responded with on this side, but we've managed to actually get them all together. So we can see the first line is that Golf, is the Volkswagen section, and then the Golf section, and then a white section. Okay, you can also see there's a Bantam that's also white. So we should be able to go to our Bantam and see that that's also a white Bantam. So this, as you can see, is basically 100% extract, 100% confidence in the values we extract, since it's actually reading the PDF. So the advantage to using this over OCR is, like I mentioned earlier, is that you can with 100% confidence say that the values you're extracting is right. So there shouldn't be any text disalignments here, since it's actually not trying to recognize characters. It actually takes the text layer from a PDF and does the values thereof, extracts the values thereof. So yeah, that's what the Teams has built. Now what I'll do is I'll quickly show you the config on how to translate this values that we see as all sorts of points and all sorts of PDF layers or layer information on it, saying this text box is in this position and so forth. And then I'll show you how to translate this into Cybern document fields. So as mentioned earlier, it's also making use of leveraging of the stuff that Daniel has been doing for scripting. So kudos to Daniel there, because it's made our lives quite easy. So first of all, how this document trainer knows how to get me my values back, right? How it knows that my rule results, what it should actually get from the PDF, is it configures rule sections like this, okay? What a rule section is, I say I want to get all of the motor sections, right? I want to get every single one of the motors. Then you set anchor points to say I want to find all the values from this point, right, all the way to this point, and then I say my limit to where the value starts is on the left hand border over here. Okay, my values where it ends is on the right hand border. And then what I'll do is I will say this is a repeating rule, because as you can see, I've got multiple one of these sections. So this is one vehicle, this is another vehicle, this is another vehicle. So I'll say it actually repeats. What you could also do is you can say it should verify that it's unique, that it should only find one set of this rule, or you can say take the first set of this rule and then extract your values from there. After you've set up where your values are located, you can go into scripting. And then you need to start extracting the actual values. So what we do from the scripting is we say find anchor words. With other words, if we look at our PDF, we say to find this value that says this BMW, I need to find where this value ends, right? And I need to find everything from the left hand side of the page all the way to additional information, all the way to where registration number starts and this portion ends. With other words, I need to find where this value is located. So to do that, I find the end of this, I find the start of this, I find the top of this value, and then I say, extract me my value. So basically, to show you what that means, I say, where is my vehicle year and make, which is the top text box, right? And then I say, to get its value, call this method that we've written from global scripts, which I'll show you now, which we are calling from all the different rules. So you set up in your global scripts, you can write some helper methods and then use it from all of your different scripts. And then you just give it some information that it requires. So to give you guys an idea, is the first of all is this. So this method calls get values below. So it says, what's your header word? With other words, what's the word on top? So we're saying it's vehicle year, make and model. And then you're saying find, that's the word we're looking for, and then find all the values below it. Then we're giving it all the different rules. Then we're saying what's the upper limit. So for this we said the upper limit is that. Then we said the right limit is the left point of registration, and so forth. So there are a couple of limits that you could specify to try and get more difficult values. So it's got quite a couple of parameters that you can pass to it to try and get the value. As soon as it's actually retrieved the value, what we'll do is we'll just say, since it's multiple lines that we're getting back, we have another helper method to take all the text boxes we have. We can say if there are some additional values that it needs to remove, that it can remove that, and so forth. So at that point we say for our vehicle work item that we've set up in our Sovereign data model, that's been demoed, we've demoed the data model. It will say, take my vehicle work item, go to its properties, and set the value for model year, as we said. So we've already demoed all of the IntelliSense and so forth from here, but here are all my document fields for my vehicle work item. Oh, I see it's actually modal here, so that's a special model. Other information that I've seen also has been demoed, so I don't need to actually go into depth, is we can add debuggers to this. Maybe I should actually show that, because it always looks nice to see that. So I'll actually quickly debug the script from our TypeScript. So what's nice is you don't have to read through JavaScript to try and understand what's going on there. You can see your script as it is here, and you can see it in your extraction, so when you're extracting the values. So that makes it quite simple to actually it makes it simple. Try and figure out where your values are if you are in a situation where you are not seeing your fields. Okay, so we're hoping that it should hit my debugger any second now. So as you can see here, we found 4 text boxes after we've searched for vehicle year, make and model. So what I'll do is I will interact with my console below, and then I can see, okay, so it's found a blank string, which is obviously possible. It's found the word model, it's found 2012D, and it found E90. So where does this word model come from? If we go back to our PDF, we can see the search box that we actually looked for was this one. So what's in between below this one? The word model, as well as 320D and 2012 and so forth. So what we do in our append values, we can see, okay, so there's a third parameter that says, what do we want to remove from there? And then we can say, this word model, we don't actually want in our result. And then we can see our vehicle model here has no value until we surpass this line, after which it should have the value as we saw in our extraction screen. So as you can see here, this is our full TypeScript as we just saw it in our script, and it makes for easy debugging to try and figure out where values are if you're struggling to find them, as that sometimes tends to happen. And yeah, so now I'm going to give an opportunity to ask any questions if you guys like. Oh, I can quickly show global scripts. It was asked for here. So what a global script is basically, it's something that you can use over any app builder screen. So you can configure one script in this app builder screen and reuse it from anywhere else in app builder. So what we can see, what I was using earlier was I was using get values below. And here we can see here's the actual script. You can see all of the values that we put over here that will show to us in IntelliSense where we actually used it. And we can see what it's actually trying to do to get the values. From the TypeScript screen, which I already, from the F12 window, you can actually debug and step into these scripts, which is also quite nice if you wanted to try and figure out where values are. Here's the append all values that said remove first. So that was where we removed the model from the extracted values. And yeah, so changing anything here will affect all of your processes. So if you did find a bug in your global scripts, you can just change it in one place and it will work for everywhere. Then, yeah, so the only other thing to mention really is a policy like this that went over multiple pages. You can configure your header and footer rules to say this document has a header, right? And then it will extract the header from your actual value results, so that you don't actually have to manually extract that type of information. So that's how you set up a header and a footer that will be extracted or removed from your values, so that you don't have extra information in there. All right, I'll give an opportunity to ask questions now. All right, so I had a question here locally. So after you've configured your template and set all of this information up, obviously you don't want to run it from a test button. So the question is, how do you actually run this? How does this interact with the rest of AppBuilder? So what I will do is I will quickly show you guys how this extraction rule that you set up here actually interacts with the rest of Avalda. So that should be there. So you will set up a normal Cybern Avalda with all of your different pages. Then what you will do is go to your logic microflows. Then you'll go to your microflows, and then there should be one called allocate, I believe, which has this extract document, sorry, not variable, widget. So if you go to extract document, you'll see you can add this extract document guy over here. Then it has all sorts of stuff that it needs to know how to work. So first of all, it needs to know what is your microservice that will actually understand how to extract the PDF information. So you've got a drop down there that shows you all of your configured Cybern microservices. So then you select your PDF scraper, which is the one that understands how to handle your configuration. Then you actually have an allocation filter that needs to point to your rule. So what you'll see here is it's got a name that's similar to, I've closed the other tab, that's similar to the one we have over there. So it was called demo. So you just fill in your actual name there that you want to allocate on. Then you have data. So you say, where's my source variable? With other words, where do I get my PDF from? So this variable over here will actually have a Cybern document page attached to it. That is your PDF document. Then you have an output variable. With other words, where will my extraction result save to? So that will be your data model that you've set up, and then it will understand that. So after you've executed your extraction, then all you need to basically do is save your, is then actually to just save your the value that you had over there. So we've got our extraction, and after the extraction, we can then save it. Cool. Thanks everyone from the team, and thanks for the opportunity to demo to everybody. Thanks for watching.